Today we are going to be talking about how you can change everything for your life, and it all comes down to your mindset. If I think about my own journey and how I've been able to achieve things that I didn't think were possible just a while back, it all came down to the mindset and the shifts that I made in my own mindset. So it wasn't about strategies, it wasn't about being more experienced or luck, how other people see it, but it was mainly down to the mindset shifts that I've been able to make. So money, clients, growth, visibility, they all are a result of your thinking. So it's not about what you do, but the state of mind you do it with. Do you actually believe in what you do? Or are you the person who takes action even when they're scared? And do you keep going despite rejection? Or are you someone who sets massive goals and believes in them like they're already true? Your mindset can be your secret weapon, the thing that opens doors others don't even see. Mindset isn't a soft skill. It's your sharpest competitive edge, and your business growth, revenue, visibility, and client results are all reflection of the level of your thinking. So let me share how you can change it today. I really think that after you've seen this video, you will already be with this different mentality and becoming this new identity that will achieve your goals with ease. So if I'm thinking about my own story, in 2021, I was really struggling with money. We had to sell our car. I had to lend money from my husband. I used my husband's student loan to pay for my mentor. We were really struggling financially. And when I had my back against the wall, that is also when I accidentally created my first premium coaching program. I still think that I wasn't willing to stop. I had set myself this belief that I will make this work. Even if I'm struggling right now, I will find a way to make this work. And how I ended up from being in red for more than 7,300 euros to then ending the year profitably with 10K, and I was able to pay my first salary after 2 years of struggling to starting up with this business. Every time I struggle to this day, I look back to that moment because now I see that, okay, well, I did it once, I can do it again. Now I believe in it even more because I've proven that to myself. In 2022, I said something completely crazy out loud to people on social media, to my clients, that I'm going to have a 100K month. At that point, I hadn't even made 100,000 in 1 year. I still said it. And I acted like it was already true. And I exposed myself to risk and ridicule, and it changed everything. Because now that is my reality. That is what we do every single month. But back then, it was just something that I had set myself to. And like, you need to believe and commit yourself into those goals before anybody else can even believe in that. I could share something from here that I was going to be sharing at the end of the video. It all comes down to 4 C's. So the first one is commitment, the second one is courage, then capabilities, and then confidence. So everybody thinks that they need courage, that they need these capabilities before they can set themselves this high goal of reaching 100,000 per month, for example. But what if I said that it was actually total opposite? First, what you need is commitment. The confidence comes from doing and from proving yourself that this is possible. So how can you have that if you haven't done it yet? And if you think back, every goal that you ever reached happened this way. So first you committed. So myself, I committed in making 100,000 in 1 month. I didn't even dream about building a 7-figure business at that point. I was only thinking about hitting 100K in 1 month, and that's it. Then I will see where I go from there. But like, that was my goal, and I committed. I shared it with everyone, and I set myself accountable by sharing it for everyone. Actually, I would rather say, first, when I committed myself, that was something that I did by myself, and then the courage came when I shared it with everyone. And because I needed to put myself out there. So I started getting new capabilities for myself, and I used help from others to be actually able to hit that goal. And when I had now gained all these new capabilities, I had proven myself that I'm courageous enough to share things like this publicly, like I was doing things already, and then the confidence come after, because now I know that I'm more capable, I have been able to reach this goal, and that is when the confidence comes in. And then you use that confidence into committing to another goal. That is how it goes. So that is the 4 C's that I've learned from Dan Sullivan. I really strongly believe in that because I've seen it in my own life. If you just think for one goal, whatever it is, like getting fit, for example, getting six-pack or whatever, that comes from you committing first. And then the discomfort is real. That is where you need courage. And then you start gaining these capabilities in like how to train and work out. And then when you show up, when you do the work and you start seeing results, that is when confidence comes in, not the other way around. And the other algorithm of reality is that your reality is not random. It's not something that just happened. There is this single formula that has made it what it is right now. So you have beliefs, then actions, results, and feedback. So if you believe that, for example, that you're not good at sales, you're not a good salesperson, you will act timidly, you will hold back, you will barely sell anything because of that. You are afraid to offer your services because you're like, oh, well, I'm not good at sales anyways. Then you will get these results which show that, okay, you're not getting any results. You are bad at sales. That feedback loop is making your belief even stronger. And this works the other way around as well. Because if you think about it, that I'm now saying to myself that I'm good at sales and I really start believing in that, that is when I start making more offers. I do more reps, I take more calls, and that will end up in better results. I will be more focused and better on those calls, and that will bring me more sales, and that will reinforce the belief that I am good at this. I am good at sales. So everything in life comes down to your beliefs. Your thoughts build beliefs. Your beliefs drive actions, and your actions create your reality. And from that, loops are formed, either positive or negative. You're either building yourself up or you're breaking yourself down. And that is the truth. Like, that is how it goes. And if I'm thinking about this belief algorithm, like, I believe strongly that whatever I believe can become my reality with work, because that is how I make it a reality. It all comes down to the belief stage. And like, if I'm thinking about how did I actually have the belief in myself that I could make it, it comes from looking for proof. You need to see proof that someone else has done it before. Nowadays, you have so many opportunities to see proof around social media, everywhere, people around you. So that is exactly how I set myself this crazy goal of hitting that 100K. And I definitely think that there was some delusion also behind that, because it made it reality. And also another thing is that people also think that success requires suffering. But if you think about that, like, that is a belief too. And in my experience, I am willing to do the uncomfortable things and commit to difficult phases also in my life and in business, because I know that it's temporary and a step on the way to my 10x vision. So if I'm thinking about everything in my life this way, that why am I thinking like this? Why do I think that I need to suffer in order for me to achieve this? For example, I have been surrounded by so many guys and men, entrepreneurs, who think that they don't even want to get married or have kids because that is going to affect their success in their businesses. But I don't let myself believe in that type of things, because I'm married, I have family, I have 2 kids. And my belief is that in this day and age, it is possible to succeed in business and achieve every single goal that I've set for my business with my current situation, like having the family and having the kids, then I always start asking myself, is this belief, first of all, serving me in any way? And is this a belief that has been proven to be true? Is this a fact, or is this just a belief? Are there women entrepreneurs who succeed in business and in life and create these huge empires of like tens of millions and hundreds of millions worth, and they still have kids? And I have seen that to be true. There are women like that succeeding big time. So why would I believe any other way? I definitely think that everything that you believe, you need to be cautious, and especially if that is not serving you and your goals, and think like, if this a fact, is this true, or is this just something that I have now started to believing because someone told me? But if you want those massive results in less time, you need to do the right things with that time. So in other way, if you want to succeed and you don't want to suffer and just like work every single waking hour, you just need more focus. And focus means you need to say no to more things. You will only do what is required to achieve the success. And I really strongly believe that mainly we are doing a lot of stuff that doesn't matter. And the other thing is that no one is in your way but you. Wherever you are now, it's the result of your own decisions and your choices. That can be really hard to admit, but it's also the most liberating truth. Because if you are responsible, that means that you can also change everything for the better. There is no external force stopping you from doing whatever you want. It's just you, your thinking, your standards, and your limiting beliefs. And the great news are that you can choose differently at any time. An example of this is that when I started selling my first online premium program, for the first beta testers, I had the price at 2,000. And I remember taking a call where I said to this one lady that, hey, like the pricing is going to be 6,000, but right now, if you join, it's going to be 2,000 because you're going to be one of the first beta testers to my program. And afterwards, when she already was my client, she said that she would have paid the 6,000 if I had just stick to that price. And that was one of the many moments that I have realized that pricing your services is mainly related to your own mindset, and it just shows the level of your thinking. How high are you going to be able to price your services? So you have your own ceiling in your head, and it comes down to your own experiences. What have you purchased before? How much have you been? And like that is the only thing, because I have seen also from our clients people who have like super easily measured offers and programs, like the successes and the results are really easily measured in money, and they are putting like 1,500 as a price point. And then there is these other offers that others might seem that they are harder to measure in money, the results, like for example dating. And still a guy who did this dating program priced it at 6,000. And at the same time, I see this happening, unfortunately, between men and women, that men are more likely to price their services higher. And this is probably the same thing that men are more likely to get better job, because they have had more courage to apply for jobs that they are not maybe even 100% qualified. As when women are, they think that they need more experience, they need more degrees or like certifications to be able to raise their prices. So I see this happening, and that is only due to your mindset. So your pricing reflects your current mindset and how deeply you understand the value also that you provide. And it's so easy to start thinking that those who succeed, they have it easier than you, and the grass is greener on the other side. But there is no such thing as an easy niche. I promise you will make money in whatever niche you decide if you just stick with it. When you switch audiences, you always start from zero. So stay loyal to your own experience, your knowledge, and your craft, and don't try to just do something because you think that it will make you a lot of money. If I think any of our successful clients who have stick to what they do and they are still doing it after months and months and years, they are the ones who have sticked to what they first wanted to do. And they didn't do it because of the money, but because they felt passionate about the topic and about the program that they were offering and about the results that they were getting for their clients. And everybody who thought that, well, I will do this other thing to make more money right now, they quit eventually. Like, that will always happen. I've seen this happening with so many people. So even if you think that right now that the thing that you want to do is something that will not maybe make you the most money at this point, I guarantee that you will make a lot of money with that if you now just commit yourself into sticking with that and making it work for you. There is going to be hard times in either niche you decide. So definitely you choosing the one that will make more sense to what you want to do, that will make it easier when the hard times come. And that is, I think, one of my biggest things from the past, that in 2019 I had this aha moment that this is my mission. I have been put to this planet to help women to make more money, be unapologetically ambitious, and whatever I have done since then, I have been really committed to that mission that I got for myself. Next thing is your standards. Your lowest standard is your true ceiling. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your standards. If you think about a number in your bank account, there is going to be some number that when your bank balance goes below that, it will trigger this panic mode and you will do anything to get that number back up again. So it will mean that you will be focusing on money making activities and you will save money. You will not spend money so much. And that can be 500, that can be 5,000 or 50,000 for some. But that is your internal standard. Same goes for your home, your cleanliness, your health, your relationship, your work. Everything. You don't rise to your goals, you don't go after your dreams, but you will actually fall to your standards. So if you want to reach new things, you need to raise your standards and you will automatically start living and acting at that level. When your standards rises, hitting goals isn't just nice to have, it becomes inevitable. And if I'm thinking about this, there has been this urban legend that I heard from this mindset training from Sam Ovens actually. And he said something about along the lines that there was this salesperson and they gave him a Ferrari and they said that if you hit this 10K per month every single month, you will keep the Ferrari. And he did every single month. But if you gave this salesperson a goal to hit 10K 3 months in a row, you will get a Ferrari. And what happened is that the first month they were super motivated, they hit their goal, and then the next month comes and there is this lower period and they have a bad week or something and they don't hit the goal because of that, and they are like, well, I've used to get used to living without the Ferrari, so it doesn't matter. So that is a great example of how you should set your goals as your minimum standards, what you want to reach in order to actually reach them. It also is same with your home. Like some people have higher standards on what they accept to see in their home. Like some people might be okay if there's some stuff on the tables and countertops, but then when all the dishes are on the kitchen table, then they get the trigger that now I need to clean everything immediately. I can't stand this messiness. And then there are other people who have this most tidy home. Even if they see a little stain on somewhere, they feel the need to clean everything up. You are just dreaming about having this most organized, beautiful, tidy home. Like it comes down to your own standards, how you are able to attain that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If your life is a mess, that is okay. I'm not judging anyone. But if your life is chaotic, your business is probably messy too. Your finances are unclear, your decisions are slow, your progress stuck. Sam Ovens, who I really got inspired to creating this part of the mindset training, said that look at your wardrobe, your hair, your clothes, your car, your office. If it's all a mess, it's showing up in your business too. If you want to build a stable, clear, long-term business, then you need to start by building a stable, clear, long-term life. It all comes down to everything else in your life as well. And how to think goals, I really strongly believe in 10x thinking. Think bigger and act sharper. 10x isn't just about adding goals, but it's about changing the level of the game you're playing. For example, that I will now grow my business with 10% or even double your business. If you think about it, everything is different between that and then the 10x growth. But if you want to 10x, like, you need to start thinking differently. You need to start doing way different things. You can't do everything alone, and you have to focus only on what truly matters. And that forces clarity, and that brings even energy. Because I had this client in the past, there was this like 2 women, and they had this business, and they had great success when they were in our program. They had done their first 10K in 1 month, and then they went on themselves, and they didn't see as good results as they did when they were working with us. And then they came back, and I asked them, like, what happened to your goals? And they said that now we are just happy if we can pay our rent. And that would mean just like really roughly like 2,000 or something, so a lot lower. And they thought that that would be just easier to do. What had ended up happening was that they didn't even feel motivated to show up and go out every day to actually work towards that goal, because it wasn't motivating at all. Like, who is motivated by just like getting their rent paid? And like, that is why 10x goals are so powerful, because they are inspiring. That is how you will get people to join your vision and join your company. So definitely having those 10x goals is super important, not just for the money aspect, but also for your energy and how you show up, and what is the vision like for yourself. And you're now thinking that it feels so unrealistic that I don't believe I will be hitting that 10x goal this year. I think that deadlines are sometimes secondary. The better question is that what milestones would I never accept not reaching? And then you will just work until you do. Timeline isn't met, like, that is also something that you set for yourself. Instead of asking what is enough, I started asking how far can you go? Let's just see how capable are you. We have this one life, so why would you set yourself a number? Why won't you just go out there and see how far are you able to go? And what are you capable of, and what is possible for you? That is the mindset shift that I want you to do. Instead of thinking that there is this one number or something magical will happen when you hit this one goal. First thing first is that you need to be happy and content with yourself and with your life. Then the second thing is that there is no limit in what you can achieve. And I've watched dozens and dozens of interviews with successful entrepreneurs, and what I've noticed them saying in their older days is that they wish that they had set themselves higher goals, because when they get older they realize that, like, I could have done much more. And that is like my biggest fear, that I would reach this point where I'm like, I could have done a lot more. And that is why I'm setting myself these 10x goals. We are not getting there alone. We are getting there with the right people helping us get there and fulfilling our own visions together. And society tries to push you into boxes. Like, society is saying that it's not okay for you to pursue things that you don't need, but anything is possible for you. And I don't want you to forget that. And I also want to say that you don't need to explain what you want. I just want to be a self-made millionaire before I'm 30. I don't know if I'm going to get there. Like, honestly, I feel a little afraid to even say this out loud, but that is something that I just want to do that. Like, I don't need that. I'm okay. Like, I'm fine. I have a nice home. I have beautiful family. I'm healthy. My family is healthy. We are happy. We have food on our table and everything is good. I get to travel, but still, I just want that. I want to be selected as the Young Entrepreneur of the Year in Finland, and I am committed in working my way and doing whatever it takes for my part to get there. And I don't need to explain myself why do I want that. There doesn't need to be any big reason even behind that. And that is something that I think a lot of women need to understand. We don't need to explain ourselves and our goals. We can just want what we want, and that is the most beautiful thing, and society is not supportive of that idea at all. What about the everyday routines? You need to do what actually moves the needle daily. Mindset only works if you show up in your day. Growth isn't an accident. It happens when you're honest with yourself and you do what it takes. And winners grow not because life is easy for them, but because they look themselves in the eye and ask, what in me is keeping me from the next level? And that is what I ask myself every single time I don't hit my deadline, for example, or like I set myself this new goal, and if I'm not hitting that, I immediately go look myself in the eye and ask, how do I need to change in order for me to achieve this goal? What do I need to do in order for me to change? And what are the activities? What are the identity shifts? What are the beliefs that are holding me back? And that is how you take radical responsibility. And if you are serious about rising in life or business, I heard this one activity that you could do every month. Identify 3 things that you don't like about yourself. Write those 3 things down and stop doing them. It's really hard. This is brutal self-leadership. And it's also pure honesty. And it's the only path to real change. Like, you need to be aware of these things. And the person you come up with the excuses the most is yourself. And those excuses are typically really valid. They have valid points and they are true. But what you decide to do behind closed doors when nobody is looking at you and seeing what you're doing, those are the moments where the real confidence is built. This is really critical in these other stuff that I've been talking about today, because you can't believe in yourself and your ability to achieve any other big goals if you can't even do the most simple things in your own life. And why I have been able to invest a lot of money and risk a lot when investing in team members, investing in coaching and mentorships and everything to grow my business, it has come down to this one thing, and it's the belief in myself. Because even though I wouldn't know if this will work out or whatever will work out that I've invested in, what I know is that I can always count on myself, and I can count on myself in ways that I will make it work. I can even fail, but I will still rise from that failure. And there are really typical routines that you could do, like well-being, go to bed early, because when you're tired, you don't believe in yourself that much, and eating well, move your body, sleep, your mind and body are one system, and stay away from people who drain your energy. That is another thing. Let them do whatever they want. Let them speak bad about you. Let them criticize you. These are the things, the hard things that you need to do in order for you to get where you want to get. And the mental work that you need to do, reflect on 3 wins every evening. The last thing that I do, and this is the critical, listing 3 wins from the day and writing down 3 wins for the upcoming next day. And this just changes how your brain is wired. You start seeing wins everywhere. Instead of seeing failures, you see just lessons that you learned, you see knowledge that you gained, and that is how I have been able to change my brain the most. And use your mindset journal and your affirmations morning and night, remind yourself and visualize yourself daily of who you are becoming, like about the person. Like I can share a story from my own, for example, yesterday, I didn't feel like going to the gym or like working out. It doesn't matter. But then I reminded myself, I did my daily habit of just looking at my vision board in my mindset book. And I looked, there is this picture of this woman in reformer Pilates with great shape. And I remembered, this is who I am. This is who I'm becoming. This is who I want to be. And that is the most important reason for me to now stay consistent, go to the gym, do my workout. And you need to daily remind yourself, because we forget. Even if you set your goals after this video, for example, you will forget. In a week, I will guarantee you don't remember half of these things that I've told you. And that is how our brains are wired. Like that is just human. And that is why it's really important for you to daily remind yourself of the person you are becoming and act immediately. Have the action in place. Don't overthink, just move forward and just take action. And instead of not making the decision, just make the decision and replace I should with I am doing it now. And don't wait for perfect, just keep repeating. You don't need more motivation, you need a new identity. If you are thinking that I am an okay coach, but not a superstar coach, you will act like that. So when you change your identity and you change yourself into being like, I am the superstar coach, you will start acting like that. You'll start living as if you already are the version of you who has her dream life, and everything shifts. Let me tell you, everything shifts because you start to show up differently. And this comes down to like how you dress up. Like I did a video like this a few years back and I was so different. Like now when I look back, I even sound different. I remember being dressed differently and looking differently. Like we are totally different person from ourselves from the past, but we can also already change ourselves to becoming the person who we want to be in the future. I have this goal of this on my vision board, this woman who is like well-dressed, trendy, and well-spoken, strong and bold and honest with herself and with her team, and people respect her because of that. And that is the person that I am now showing up today, because I remind myself that this is who I am and I act like I already am her. And I am her right now. And you need to understand that the traits that got you here won't get you there. So even if you think that, well, I've already achieved all these things, I don't need to change that much and do mindset work because I've done it in the past. But let me tell you, like the next phase where you are going to be, that is going to be a totally new person as well. So you need to change. And I believe that your business grows when you grow as a person. So ask yourself, what kind of person leads $1 million business, for example, or whatever your number goal is, or how do they talk? Where do they spend time? How do they make decisions? What do they no longer tolerate? And then start acting like you're already her. But what if someone criticizes or leaves a nasty comment for you? Well, again, let them. Let them do that. If someone says to you that you're so greedy, like why you're always talking about money and stuff like that, what you can say is that, and what? Okay, I'm greedy, and what? If you answer like that and you just don't react, it loses its power. So the critics lose their power. And if you don't get any critique, if you don't get any bad feedback or anything, it means that you're not doing enough. You can't expect a life with lots of success and then not having any negative with that. There's always these two sides, and the more you succeed, the more people are going to be judging you, critiquing you, and that is just how it goes. I have been underestimated, I've been called a fraud, I've been told I was just lucky. Let them. It doesn't matter. I know in my heart who I am, who I'm becoming, and what I'm doing and what I've done to get there. It doesn't matter. I thought for the longest time that once I hit this certain level of income or like revenue, these specific people would respect me. And what happened? They didn't even notice, or they noticed and they don't respect me still to this day, or they haven't acknowledged it. And I can't do anything for that. I can just continue, and I shouldn't be focusing on trying to prove anyone wrong or whatever. The final key is discipline. Do it especially when you don't feel like it. You don't succeed because you're motivated. You succeed because you act even without the motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Habits carry you. This goes really well with going to the gym, for example, or showing up on social media and doing the marketing and money-making activities in your business. You might think that I will do it when I feel more motivated, or like someday this will become easier. But what if you stopped thinking that way? What if you just accepted that this is how it feels? It feels hard, it is difficult, this is exactly how it feels, and I accept it and I do it anyway. I always think in a way that this is why so many people aren't doing this, and this is also a reason why I am doing this and succeeding by doing that thing that most people aren't willing to do. They feel that it's boring, they feel that it's scary or whatever. And it's never been easier to succeed and make money. It is still hard, don't get me wrong, but the bar is so low because people have so many distractions nowadays. They have all this opportunity, and you will stand out just by doing better than average. I have been using so many services, I've seen so many entrepreneurs, I've seen this happen. It's really rare to see something good, like something that is exceeding their expectations. It's really hard to find something like that. So that is a reason for you to just like doing a little bit better job than the other people have done. And love the boring. Repeat the basics. Do the same mindset practice every morning. Make the sales calls, even when you don't feel like it. That moment, that is where winners are born. And when you fail, fail fast and fail forward. When you fail, don't stay in that feeling for too long. Of course, it's okay to feel bad about something, but instead quickly move on and try again. The only reason people quit is the gap between expectations and reality. You're a slave to expectations, so shift them. If you think that it's going to be easier than something else, it's probably going to take much more effort, much more of your time and your money, and it's going to be harder. If you expect everything to be hard, if you have these huge goals, expect it to be really hard to get there, and those hardships, that is like a test for you if you are actually capable of even reaching your highest self and the goal that you've set for yourself. Entrepreneurship is hard. So now what I want you to do is to go. Your premium self is waiting for you to show up already today. If you commit to this, doing the daily work and creating your new identity and showing up as her, 30-day, and I promise that if you committed to this mindset work and daily routines, after that, the winner's mindset isn't something that you do, it is who you are. You have shifted yourself, your personality, and everything in your life. And it can only take 30 days. Things start moving fast when you change things up. Like, don't keep doing same things over and over again and accept a different result. Commit to those hard things, things that 99% of people are not willing to do. And you will see things that only 1% of people will experience. And here are some highly recommended reads or listens, because I listen a lot of these things on Audible. So 10x is easier than 2x. We Should All Be Millionaires book actually changed the way that I see that this is not just something that I need to do for myself or for my family and my legacy, but this is my duty to become the millionaire, to be the role model, to show up as that and like show to other women who needed that role model in their life to be able to change the world in their way. So I really strongly believe that that is our duty. So go now and do that. Read these books. I really strongly recommend you to do that. Thank you.